What's going on, everybody? I am Watu, and this is my channel, also named Watu. On this channel, we focus on health, wealth, and freedom. And so you got that check. Did you spend it already? Well, hopefully not, because if you didn't, and you don't have to pay your bills, please be responsible. If you lost your job, do not go out and get a Gucci belt. But if you have your job and you got the extra money and it's just sitting in the account, don't just let it sit in your savings. I'm about to show you how to use Robinhood and how to invest. So let's get into it. Hey, okay, so here we are on my home screen, and here we are in my investment folder. For me, I invest in multiple apps. I'm trying them all out to get a feel for them. And right now, we're going to focus on Robinhood because for most people who are beginner investors, I think Robinhood's user interface is probably the cleanest and most user-friendly of them all, outside of Stockpile. The other two I use are Stockpile and Webull, and then I also use SoFi for my emergency funds. Stockpile is good because if you wanted to create a custodial account, which basically is an account for you're the holder as an adult, I'm hoping, if you're watching this, and you wanted to create a investment portfolio for your child or, a kid in your family or just, somebody underage, you could create a custodial account where you control the account, but it is eventually going to be turned over to that minor once they get of age, which I believe is 18 years old. Webull is more so geared to the day trader or someone who is more heavily invested in trading, and it has like a whole social aspect to it where you can talk with other investors. And I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm not as crazy about it as I am of Robinhood. Robinhood does not have any fees, so they say. As far as trading, there are no minimum deposits. There are no holding fees. There are no fees even with their now offered debit card. So, Robinhood is pretty good. And I've noticed as I've gotten my money over a certain dollar amount, I don't know how true this is, but once I got over a certain dollar amount invested in this account, which I just started really investing in, after the market tanked in the end of February, beginning of March. Now I'm noticing when I buy a stock at a price, it is at that price. Whereas if you have a lower funded account, I kind of noticed maybe it was the timing when I was buying, but it seemed like if I bought something, and I've heard other traders say this, if I bought something at $1.50, I noticed that it was saying $1.55. That could be considered a fee if you just, but what's 5 cents? What's 5 cents? I mean, it could be a lot if depending on who you are, but if you don't really have the money to be investing and 5 cents is really bothering you that much, then you probably should not be on this app. No shade. So here we are on the home page of my app, Robinhood, and as you can see, today was a red day. No, I did not lose $103 today. This is how much money this account has lost over time. Now, back in the day, I had this account, but I defunded it. I took all the money out because I was not disciplined, and I was a very emotional trader. And then I decided to get back into the market right before the crash because, my girl Corona came into town, and she fucked everything up. Excuse my language. So now, as you can see, I clicked the 1D, and 1D means one day. All these little things below the line graph, these are intervals showing investment history. So it's showing the price action of my investment account. And if I actually put my finger on here and I move it to the left and to the right, you can see the movement of my balance going up and down as I move back and forth. 1D is 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, and then there's all being all encompassing. So if you got more than 1 year of trading, You're going to hit all to see all that activity. Yeah. Now, as you see at the top of the screen, you see what my current balance is. It's slowly creeping back up from after hours movement. Lost a little bit of money today, but it's okay. You can't win them all every day. And we are holding for long term because that's where you make the most money. Most people who day trade, you see a lot of these day traders out here and they say they made this much money and they got this Lamborghini and everything. But most people who day trade lose money. Only about 10% of day traders make money. At the top, you have the balance. In the red, you see what I lost for the day, and this is during trading hours of 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then right below that in the green, you see my account balance went up a little bit by 42 cents in after hours trading. After hours trading goes from 4 p.m. until, I don't know, about 6 o'clock, I think. But Robinhood will not allow you to do trades in the pre-market hours or the aftermarket hours. If you move down to the bottom of the screen, you can actually see the cash balance I have. So right now there's $7.48 in there. But the thing about Robinhood is they can have a margin account of $1,000 for you. So if I wanted to buy, $100 of stock tomorrow, but the money hadn't been completed as transferred, Robinhood would front me that $100 up to $1,000 to buy that stock, and then it would also at the same time pull the money from my account. And it usually takes about 5 business days for the money to clear in Robinhood. So in that time, they're kind of floating you the money. But right now I have $7.48 that is unused cash that is within my Robinhood sweep account. I call it a sweep account because it's not really a check-ins. It's not really a savings. Whenever I need to buy a stock, it pulls from this account first. Below that, you have these little cards here, and they give you information as far as price action, the movement up and down, or the value movement of a stock. It also provides, articles from places like Reuters and Bloomberg and MarketWatch and other reputable financial websites that provide news on companies, financial news on companies, just to keep you abreast of what potential upsets or upturns will happen with certain stocks in certain sectors of the market. And then below that, I have my positions in all my stocks. And here you can see what the value is, how much was lost and how much was gained. You have to the left the call letters for each stock. So for F would be Ford. VFH is Vanguard Financial ETF. That's an ETF that I own that pays dividends. Hallelujah. And then to the right of these line graphs showing the price action movement, you actually have different display options. So you can have it show the last price, the percentage change for the day, my equity, how much my value or how much of my investment account in dollar amount is in that stock, today's return or total return. Right now it's showing total return. Let's just change this to percent change, and then you can see the percentage change for the day on each position of stock that I have. Below that, Robinhood is now offering list. So in the past, you just had the list. You would add a stock that you wanted to watch to a list, and you can look at it below. And now they offer lists, which pretty much follow different sectors of the market. So I'm big into transportation and automobiles. I love cars. So, of course, one of the lists that I like was transportation. And in here, I put automotive companies as well as airline companies because a lot of airline companies got hit hard due to the pandemic. And you could get their stock for almost 50% off of what they were prior to the pandemic because I knew in time those would go back up and I would reap the benefit of those gains because a lot of people panicked and they sold. The game is buy low, sell high. The end. Next page. Again, there's that cash balance. It's showing how much I have in buying power, and then it'll tell me how much I have that's available to withdraw or spend. And basically, the difference between the 0 and the 748 is the money that I used a few days ago to buy stock has not cleared. So although I have $7.48 in buying power, this is money that was fronted for stocks. That money has not cleared, and so I don't have any money available to withdraw or spend using my Robinhood card. And with this Robinhood card, you can actually get a routing and account number, so you can do direct deposits for funding this account, or you could treat this almost like a checking account if you wanted to, as well as, have an investment feature. Of course, you have the browse page, and this offers more news, video, live streams, as well as far as financial information goes. And if I wanted to search for a company, I could either put the call letters in, or I could just type in the name. Let's put in Nike, and then Nike NKE pops right up. And they'll also bring up related stocks to that sector. So Shoe Carnival, never even heard of them, but that's how I would pick a stock, by searching for it. Type that in, and it'll bring me to, once I click it, it'll bring me to that page for that stock, how it's doing for the day. I can look at it historically as well, going back 5 years, and I can look at the candlestick chart showing the price movement and the volume of the price movement during the day or period of time. Or I can also look at a line graph just simply showing price movement. And this can go into different intervals, like the homepage of day, week, months, year, or 5 years at max. We see Nike. Man, if I had bought Nike 5 years ago, I would have paid $50 for it. And today it's $85. This is what it's all about, folks, as far as investing. You buy and hold for the long term, because with inflation, stock prices will go up. You will make money. Do not rely solely on your 401ks or the idea of Social Security. That is a joke. Messages. Messages is pretty much letting you know what stocks you bought, what stocks you sold, if dividends are being paid out for that stock, if there's any financial call information going on as far as a conference call for that stock. Once you own a stock, you have the right to listen in on their quarterly calls to hear the news directly from their C-level employees of that company. And, if you really want to get involved with this, I would suggest research the companies if you're going to buy a company stock, but the easiest way to invest is to do index funds and ETFs that pay dividends. On the last page, this is my profile page. Pretty much it tells you my name, my @name or my username, and then it gives you a picture of what my diversification and investment is within Robinhood. So as you can see, I have 54% of my invested money in ETFs, and then I have 46% in stocks and 0% in options and crypto. I used to have crypto, but I decided to pull out because it didn't really make much sense to me. The movement is so volatile, and I think that bubble has come and gone. Options, you need to have a little bit more money with options to play around with that, because basically you're buying the equivalent of 100 shares of whatever contract you buy, with the hopes of it either going up or going down, depending on how you do it. If you do a call or a put, if you get within your contracted amount of time, you hit a goal or go above that goal, you can make a lot of money. Options is a good move, but you need to be educated in it, and I would not recommend it for the beginning trader. Does Robinhood really offer education? Not so much. I think you would have to learn on your own. But what I would say, do some education, watch a few videos on YouTube University. There's a lot of people out here who are investors. Some people might give you bad information, but find somebody who can give you trusted information as far as investing. I follow quite a few people, and you can learn a lot, and you can also do your own research. It doesn't hurt to read, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Okay. And that is Robinhood. I would strongly suggest this app for the beginner or the recreational, laissez-faire trader, because, you should make your money grow. Don't just leave it sitting in a savings account or a CD when you can be making at least 7% if you invested in a S&P 500 index fund. But in the end, if you hold long term, you will make money.